Know about blocks when you can't eat? What you know about sleep on this concrete? Yeah, things on the corner, hot propane, blow flame on the corner. Do a die block, running state to state. Joe choppers push a hard line, hard time, hard grind on the block. Summer to summer, my team chef bricks, nine swift, mine shift.
Welcome to another edition of the Rivalry Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenas, and topics I want to talk about is Johnny Gonzales possibly, hopefully, facing Juan Lopez. You know, the rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico is always going to be around, and it's one of the biggest things that boxing has to offer. That rivalry has been around for years, and two countries that have a lot of national pride. That's what it's all about, is just national pride. Are always going at it. So when you have two guys, when you have a guy like Juan Manuel Lopez that has started such a huge buzz by knocking out Daniel Ponce de Leon, who was a puncher but not a real pure boxer. This guy was more of a guy that was in the works and was kind of late in his career and was getting some first round knockouts and stuff. He did knock out Boom Boom Batista in the first round, and it's just ironic he gets knocked out in the first round by Juan Manuel Lopez, who have seen him several times in solo boxeo, on Telefuturo boxing. I'm going to tell you right now, Johnny Gonzales has been looking more and more like a puncher, and if the match is made up, I mean, you're going to have some fireworks, okay? I'm going to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen when Johnny steps in the ring with Juan Manuel Lopez, who's the more polished, more disciplined fighter than Johnny. Johnny tends to drop his hands down when he goes to the body. He's a hard puncher and stuff, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult to a guy that's a much more basic boxer. Lopez, he keeps his hands up nice and high. He's always prepared, and he stands in his left hand stance. He's like I said, he's very well in catching what's in the outside of him when punches are being looped at him. Okay, he's very good at catching punches, and he has great reflexes. Where if you throw a punch and he blocks it, he's gonna more likely respond to it quickly and hurt you. And those are some of the things that Johnny's gonna have to be concerned. Now, is it gonna be an easy fight for the young hot prospect out of Puerto Rico, Lopez? No, it's not. It's going to be a tough fight for him because Johnny always comes to fight. Johnny knows exactly what's at stake, and he comes and he does what he needs to do. He has had his share of losses. He's lost to Gary Penoso. Like I said, he's lost to Isaiah Vasquez in a thrilling battle back and forth. We end up getting stopped. And I kind of foresee it kind of being the same way with Juan Manuel Lopez, where it's going to be a thrilling battle. Lopez getting hurt by Johnny because of the fact that Johnny, even though he throws these big looping punches, but he's a heavy-handed guy, and when he lands, he's going to hurt you. Okay, so there's only so much that Lopez is going to be able to take. But Lopez is a straight down the pipe type of boxer. He's going to show him angles. He's going to hard pivot. He's going to make sure that he makes Johnny miss as much as he can and slow down Johnny in the beginning of the rounds, and then come on maybe in the mid rounds, and then possibly stopping him in the late rounds. So that rivalry there, I think, is going to be great. But my pick is going to be Lopez. The fact is because, like I said, Lopez is just a much more polished fighter. Now, I know some guys are going to be like, oh, what about Margarito and Cotto? Cotto was the more polished fighter, and Margarito this and this and that. Listen. Just because it happened in one fight doesn't mean it's going to happen in every other fight, okay? So, we win some, they win some. We lose some, they lose some. But right now, what I'm going to say is Johnny Gonzales is not going to win this fight. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's a great name to put under Lopez's belt because it only builds it up for him to get a possible fight with Rafael Marquez or Isaiah Vasquez, which I think are going to be the much more tougher opponents for him, where they could possibly lose to one of those guys, okay? And if I would have to make my pick with Lopez facing Marquez, I'm going to say Marquez wins that fight there, all right? Because both of them being great technicians, but I'm going to have to say that Marquez is just a little bit better than him, okay? A little bit more stronger too. But when it comes to Johnny Gonzales facing Lopez, great matchup, but technician-wise, it's got to go to Lopez, okay? Johnny's been stopped before. Johnny's been out-hustled. Yeah, does he look better as a puncher when now he's been stepping in the ring? But let's look at the opposition that's been put in front of him. They've been put in front of him for his confidence buildup, okay? They've been put in front of him to get exposure, for him to get these other big fights, because he's been chasing, the ring champion right now. You know, he wants that recognition, but he's got some hurdles he's got to jump over, and unfortunately some of these hurdles might be a little bit too up high for his legs to just leap over, okay? So I'm going to say that his legs are going to hit the hurdle and he's going to fall flat in his face when he faces Juan Lopez. That's my pick. You know, like I said, my word is not the last, you know, and if you can change my mind, go ahead, you know, email me or write a comment, and I always, you know, read them and go through them and stuff, and sometimes you'll be able to change my mind. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I'm just going to tell you who I think in my observations of who I think is going to win that fight, and I'm going to have to go with Lopez. I say Lopez wins by late stoppage or even mid stoppage. It's not too ridiculous. But with Johnny giving him a tough time in doing it, and possibly even dropping him in the early rounds, okay, and until Lopez adjusts and he gets comfortable in that ring. And I think that's what's going to be the difficult task for Johnny is if he allows Lopez to catch a rhythm, it's going to be over for Johnny. And Lopez is going to walk away with the victory, and he's going to have a chance at one of the top Mexican fighters out there, which are, like I said, Rafael Marquez and Izetta Vasquez. Those are the two guys that are much more bigger threat to Lopez. So anyways, so that's my insight, and thanks for joining me. There will be a Blood Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenas, and I hope to hear from you guys. And if you're watching the show, subscribe. If you're watching any of the other guys in the shows, you know, Blood Boxing, Midnight Boxing, any of those guys, you know, please subscribe to their shows. You know, this is what keeps our sport going. And for all those haters of boxing, you know, that keep saying that MMA is taking over, you know what, take a good look around and realize we're here to stay. We ain't going anywhere, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're here to stay. So thanks for joining me.